You don't requirement to be a large war tactical officer to know how while fight a fight you requirement to hit yours enemy wherever it torment. In how in reason, the Europe Association alerted recent 1 week how it would answer to CEO Trump card's tariff on Europe steel and aluminum in importing levies of its own on several cute portrait US means. Brussels told it planned to enter reciprocal tariff on items such as Harley-Davidson motorbikes and bourbon scotch. But why precisely has Brussels selected such a particular means, and do history trading wars among the US and Europe propose how the White's building will now eventually behind downward? Meredith Crowley, world trading political economist at the College of Cambridge, says how the EU is creature far more than politically no rather than fair collecting renowned us consumer goods. Instead of it has selected means done in state how our household to several key members of Trump card's Republic side. Bourbon is manufactured in Kentucky, household country of Mitch McConnell U.S. Sinead most lead, she says. Harley-Davidsons are made in Wisconsin, a swinging country how is the household of the orator of the building gender Ryan. This EU hopes these men will application the CEO to rescue jobs in their household state by elimination the U.S. steel and aluminum tariff. Stephen Woolcock, a lecturer in economical relations at the London High School of Economy, adds how the aim is to include as lot effect as probable on the politics discussion in Washington. Down there is, yet, a hazard to the EU's plans. It could antagonize consumer in Europe who rebel abruptly possessing to pay a lot more than for their bourbon or us denim. David Hennig, a world trading politics specialist at the Europe Center for World Policy Economics Believe Pot, says the EU has to act a very sensitive play. This EU's plan reciprocal tariff are more than on send a communication to Washington rather than direct retribution. It is on conclusion the top way to answer out of future injuring the economics of the EU. Yet apparently the hazard is how the go will irritate EU consumer, but we fair don't aware still. No very wants a trading warfare. David Collins, law prof and world trading specialist at London's Town College, adds how the EU must escape making the bad bloodstream of its own human beings. Time CEO Trump card has undoubtedly been more than warlike on his readiness to enter trading tariff rather than history presidents, George W. Bush as well driven in tariff on EU steel behind in March 2002. The EU rapidly retaliated in levies on Florida oranges and sap, it which was an lightweight policy goal for two major reasons. First of all, Florida was, or remnant, a key swinging country, how CEO Bush had just won by fair 537 votes in the 2000 U.S. President poll. In the 2004 poll on the skyline, the EU guessable how Bush would not be lucky on irate Floridian farmers. Secondly, Bush's junior sibling Jeb was governor of Florida at the period. This EU was with tariff to hit up the CEO's slight sibling, says Mr. Collins. Onto accountable at the period, CEO Bush coordinated how the EU was creature private. He is told to include, said the later Europe Committee CEO Romano Prodi, reason are you offensive my household? In December 2003, 1 year and 9 months after, Bush supported downward and remote the steel tariff. Brussels, that is as well targeting Floridian orange sap the period about, must be hoping how story repetition himself. Yet, analysts warning how Trump card is so alone-minded and unexpected how he may be a lot more than obstinate rather than Bush. I say to different trading expert in Washington, and they all recognize they cannot forecast the CEO's actions on trading, says Mr. Hennig. Yet taking into account how same's excited on of steel and aluminum to threats on car imports, it seems on balance sheet potential how the continues for a time still. The CEO is perhaps not departure to wish to be outdoor to accusations how he talked hard but didn't supply. Ms. Crowley agrees how it is not clear if Trump card will behind downward any period quickly. It is not clear how the EU's policy of targeting Republic Convention members' districts will job since Trump card is not individually shut to each McConnell or Ryan, or, besides, he doesn't appear to be too concerned on the probable losing of U.S. jobs of each his own steel tariff, that could reason job losses in cars, and some steel-using industries. or of reciprocal tariff of the EU or Mexico, Canada, and China.